Alright, so the event is about to start. Hello, sir. The event is about to start for showcasing. I'm just gonna go ahead and play the whole kind of event for you, so if there's like any questions that it might have been already like answered in the showcase. Yeah.
Alright, hi. Share my screen, hope the volume's okay, and I hope the stream's not too laggy. Yeah, so you guys can see everything's good. Somebody on the stage say yes.
Yep.
Looks good to me.
Amazing. Hi, so my name is JM, or Holy Peaches. I'm the senior game designer on DrivingEmpire. And if you guys remember, a couple months ago, we talked about wanting to bring a new customization system for the performance in a few months. And now it's been a few months, and we sort of have it almost ready in a very good state, to showcase it to you guys. And today's the day. So I'll start by doing a small demonstration. I'll go into my car, and I'll try to do a U-turn, right? Yeah, that's horrible. That's not a U-turn. That's really crappy, right? I go on the sidewalk. It's not fun. But let me go into the customization menu. It's a nice car. I like it. And then I can go into tires where the handling will be improved. Here, you can now see that instead of having multiple subcomponents, I now have sockets. What can I do with sockets? Well, I can install parts. And in this case, I have a steering kit that allows me to increase the angle by quite a lot. So what happens when I install a bunch of those, right? Well, let's go back in game and see how my U-turn goes this time. So I'll just back up a bit to start about where I was. And now there you go. Amazing, right? Now my wheels are actually turning much more than they used to because I changed the angle, right? So with that, I'll jump into other cars. This is the Audi R18. It is the fastest accelerating vehicle in the game, and probably the highest handling as well. And I'll showcase what it can do. So that's the vehicle. Here in this case, I've already preset some parts into it. So as you can see, the engine is fully maxed, and I've got 6 sockets, and all the parts are in there. So this is a steel piston. It's got +5 to speed, and these are acceleration parts that I added to the engine. And in the aspiration, I've added all quad turbos for the highest acceleration that I can. And as you can see, my acceleration meter is now 86%. The dark blue is the base of the vehicle, and the light blue is by how much I've increased it. So as you can see, it might have started somewhere around like 50%, and then I'm up to like 86% using parts. So this vehicle accelerates quite fast. I'm just going to give like a small showcase, but as you can see, yeah, really fast, right? So in the customization, you'll be able to tweak all of the parts that you want based on what you get. And so as you can see, I could exchange this one, right? This is an ultra rare steel piston, but I could change it for, again, another steel piston, but that's weaker, another one that's even more weak, and then another one that's very weak. So green is common, blue is rare, purple is super rare, and yellow is ultra rare. The ultra rares are better. But as you can see, I've got the choice. I could I could actually install the flex plate, which would be a mix of speed and acceleration if I wanted to. Exhaust manifold, which is going to be a mix of speed and then boost. Boost is like the power of the nitro. Or speed and refill, which is how fast the nitro is going to refill. I could also just choose to put in air filters, which are going to be more acceleration. So I've got a bunch of choice as to how I want to, swap and replace my parts. Let me see. So here, for the brakes, as you can see, everything is locked, and I'm able to upgrade my component in order to then open a slot that I can equip what I want into. So let's say this ultra rare caliper. And now my brake has actually gone up. I want to showcase other vehicles. So with this system, let's say this vehicle, it's got a really, really high base for braking. And so with all of the highest rarity calipers, I can now get up to 88% braking. And as you can see with the demonstration, it brakes quite well. So I'm going to accelerate really fast, and I mean, as fast as I can in the time here. And then I'm going to brake at the light to see how fast I can brake. So that was pretty good for the speed I was going. So yeah, now if you want to brake, do shorter distances for braking, you definitely can. Next up, which one? So next up, yeah, the Jesco, right? The vehicle with the highest speed in the game. Now you can go probably even higher. So this one is like topping up to here. So you can see like 426 miles per hour. That is because I equipped all speed pistons in my engine. And also in the aspiration, I equipped superchargers, which are there for speed. So as you can see, this is +4 to speed, while the engine, the piston itself, because it's the engine and it's meant for top speed, this one gives +5 at the highest rarity. So with everything into top speed, you can reach top speeds of 426 miles per hour, which is amazing. You just have to make sure that your vehicle has enough torque to actually push you to those high ends. But yeah, that's where the fun comes in, where you can start swapping your pieces to customize to your heart's content. I can showcase, I guess, going really fast, but everybody knows the Jesco goes really fast. But yeah, the faster you go, obviously, the harder it is to control the vehicle. So I'm most likely going to crash at some point, but bear with me. And it's probably lagging a lot, right?
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Right. So 400, 412, yeah. So, nice. Okay. All right. So one thing I want to show is that we have a new inventory menu. In that inventory menu, you see all the parts that you currently have collected. There are 5 categories for the 5 components. So you see what you have available. An example I want to show here is that I have a few steel pistons and I have a bunch of commons. So what can I do with them? I don't want commons, I want ultra rares, right? So I can click on it and I can fuse them. It's gonna require 8 of them to fuse them. So boom, fuse 8 common steel pistons into 1 rare steel. Yeah, sure, do it. Nice. So I got the new rare steel piston. As you can see, this went up by 1. So instead of 6, I have 7. And now I can fuse those into a super rare steel piston. Amazing. And now with 4 super rare steel piston, I can fuse them into an ultra rare. And voila. I now have the highest rarity possible for the steel piston. Now I have 1 piece of it. But the more parts I collect, the more I can fuse together. It is by family. It is restricted. Like the steel piston can only be used to upgrade into more steel piston. But yeah, you can work your way up to the highest rarity eventually. Now, how do you get parts, right? So how do I get parts? Well, we have in the store, well, actually, let's start with the playtime rewards. So as you can see, we've shifted things around a bit, and now you have a tuning kit on the 3rd reward, which is 10 minutes, and on the 5th reward, which is 20 minutes. So I can collect those, I'll claim the cash because why not? And now in the inventory, I've already had some tuning kits in the account, but as you can see now, I have tuning kits that I can open. And there you go. So once you click on a tuning kit to open, you'll see the scene. It's very nice. And then you can click to open it, and boom. Now you've got a bunch of parts. So what am I getting? Okay, that's interesting. So I got a rare part, another rare, common, another rare, F1 tires, and 2 F1 tires. All right. So that's what I got. I'll open another one just for fun. If you guys want to go fast, you can spam and then open all, you get everything, right? The other method of acquisition for tuning kits is in the store. Fully available for cash only. So, do a couple races, do your playtime rewards, do your quests, and yeah, on top of that, you'll be able to now purchase tuning kits. So 1 at a time if you want to, or 10 at a time if you have the currency for it. Boom, there you go. Now I've got plenty more tuning kits to open, and hopefully I get lucky. Let's do it. Boom. So this is how you get parts. And yeah, let's do a showcase of a vehicle that's not upgraded, right? Everybody knows, like, we have the bus, right? The massive bus. It's extremely slow, right? It's not fun. It doesn't turn too well. Well, what can we do with the parts? So let's see how that setup goes if I want to upgrade the bus. So, oh, I think we have that issue.
Yeah, that's the bug that Brian wanted more info on.
Let me just leave and return quick. Sorry about that. That should fix the issue. Yeah, so I want to explain that while we're waiting for this, I want to explain why we wanted to change the system. So with the old system, most players, we saw that the majority of players would just essentially go into a component like the aspiration, and then just click on the rightmost one, which would be quad turbo, because it's just the best. And then you'd use all your money to upgrade it, and that was it, right? You did that for all components, and then you were done with performance customization, and like you'd never thought about it ever again. And whatever you did, like, your vehicle wasn't different from somebody else's vehicle, right? Like my highly performant Jesco was the same as somebody else's, right? So we really wanted to give you guys the tools to customize your vehicles how you want, to make it feel, as best as it can for you. And if you really enjoy a bad vehicle, maybe like the Hummer, right? Like, or anything like that, a vehicle with lower stats, you can now use parts to actually make them competitive and make them actually quite good. So this is what I wanted to showcase here with the bus. So here, I'm going to upgrade my engine. So as you can see, now I can put in more parts. I'm going to upgrade it fully, and let's put in some acceleration, and let's put in some more accel, right? Because the bus is really slow. And we'll do the same here. And here, let's see, quad turbos, yes, more acceleration, let's go. All right, so how does that look now that we've upgraded the acceleration for the bus? All right. So the bus is now going much faster than it used to. So, maybe the bus is not a good example, but yeah, as you can see, the bus is now actually somewhat usable. And one thing that I want to note here, which is important, is the nitrous, right? So let me just do a U-turn quick. Sorry. I'll just go to the dealership. All right, so let me change into the starting vehicle. All right, so you guys might have noticed that in the past, when you were starting from 0 and you were using your nitrous, it didn't actually really matter. It didn't actually help you accelerate faster. But now it does. So if I try to go from 0 to 60 or whatever, and I'm pressing down to use my nitrous actually helps me get there much faster than before. Another thing that you might notice with the nitrous is that now we're actually able to break the top speed limits a lot more than before. So I'll try to get there. I think this vehicle's top speed limit is 203 or 209. So we'll try to get there. Right? And then turbo. And there you go. Now I can move much faster, and I can go into customization and put in some nitrous parts. So one thing that is cool with nitrous is we actually have 3 categories. We have duration, if you want to increase the duration of your boost, right? So how long you can press that nitrous button and keep going. We have refill, which increases how fast the bar will refill once you stop using it. And we also have, there's a string error here, but yeah, we have boost or power, which is going to be how powerful that boost is. So for something like drag race, you'll want to use the boost to help accelerate much faster at the start. But a long race, you might want duration, or you might want refill if you want to use your nitrous more. So yeah, what else is there? Yeah, I think that's about it, right? Am I missing anything?
I think we can just let everyone knows how the refound's gonna work. Like, what is the data
Yes.
immigrating? What are the refounds they're gonna be getting?
Yes. Sorry about that. So yeah, in terms of transitioning to the new system, okay. So in the old system, you had all the 4, subcomponents, and now that's no longer there. So I want to tell you guys that all of the cash that you've spent on the previous system, if it's being removed, you are refunded 100%. Okay, 100% cash of what you spent on the previous system's upgrade system. However, one thing I want to note is that in terms of transitioning to this new system, we've used the rightmost subcomponent as the base for this new system. So in aspiration, if you guys had the quad turbo on the far right already upgraded to level 6, when you transition to this new system, it is going to be this one that we use for the base. Therefore, your aspiration will already be level 6 and will already have all the 6 sockets unlocked. So you don't need to spend money for that. That money is the same, and so it's being used in this system. But all of the stock twin turbo, supercharger, the other subcomponents that are not in use anymore, those are refunded 100%. So yeah.
Jam, real quick before we move on to the questioning phase, I've been seeing a lot of what's happening to our premium boost pass members.
Oh yes, sorry about that. The premium boost is this little socket here on the right side. So the premium boost still exists as a game pass. It's still the same game pass as before, but instead of being a new subcomponent, it's actually now a 7th socket. So basically, if you unlock this, it's going to be unlocked for all vehicles. You now have access to a 7th nitrous slot where you can put in any other part for nitrous that you have in. So that's the new. That's how the new premium boost works. It's now a socket, and if you already had it in the past, you have it now available for you straight up from the beginning, right after the transfer.
All right. Jam, are we ready to move into the questioning phase?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Let's get started. So the one that's probably on everyone's mind is, we've seen that those in-game, you can obtain them by in-game cash, but are there other ways tuning kits can be obtained?
Yeah, so like I showcased, you have them right now in Playtime Rewards. This is where we're going to start with. There are two at Playtime Reward, one at 10 minutes and one at 20. We might add more in there, but we're planning to have tuning kits available for you to earn, mostly through engagement in events. For sure, in events, we'll have them in the quest potentially, and we'll have new systems in the game where through engagement you'll be able to earn a lot of tuning kits.
Thank you. What's the maximum amount of parts you can store in your inventory?
Yeah, so in the inventory itself, like I showcased with the 5 categories, right now this is pretty much limitless. You can get as many parts as you can, and they're just going to be stored in that inventory. When it comes to each vehicle, you can get up to 31 sockets, right? Including like 6 sockets per component. We have 5 components, and then we have that extra 1 socket that you can get for the nitrous boost.
Okay. With more in-depth more in-depth tuning come in the future, such as gear tuning, suspension tuning, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So with this new system, we've created a lot of new design space that we can work with. So anything that a car has in terms of its base parameters for tuning can become a new part to collect. So something like suspension tuning can be very, very easy. We can, add parts that would increase the offset or the height or stuff like that. That's very easy. Something more like gear tuning might be a bit more complex, but I'm sure we could get there in the future. And yeah, this new system is the reason why we've added it is because we want more in-depth tuning. Like we want you guys to be able to build your own unique vehicle, play test them, like try to maximize or optimize their performance. And so the more parts with unique modifiers we add in the future, I think it's for the best.
Yeah, if you want to take over for a second.
Who's taking over? Sorry.
Bruno, for a second, regarding the EU question.
Yes, I can ask that. So, all the country we spoke with Roblox regarding the system itself, and all the countries are gonna be able to use the system no matter the country. So we have a solution for like every single type of like country gonna be able to play, open tuning kits, equip parts, and play with these new features. So there is no restriction in our current system.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you so much, Bruno. All right, back over to JM. Answered that one already. This is one that I've been also seeing in the chat. Will tuning kits eventually be able to be gifted to other players?
This is something that we're looking at right now. As we saw, it's not available, but yeah, it's on the table for us to discuss pretty soon.
Okay, and then not necessarily the gifting question, but more so like if we're customizing and making all these unique cars, would we be able to share our tunes with others, like a blueprint in a way?
Yeah, so at the moment there's no in-game system for you to do that. You'd have to take a screenshot or just text your friend, tell them what you've equipped. But I think it's a really, really good idea in the future to maybe have an option to inspect somebody else's vehicle, and you can then look at what parts they've installed, both on the performance side and on the appearance side. Like you would be able to see their vehicle in a garage setting, right? That would be really cool. But for the moment, that's not available.
All right, thank you. Moving over to community stage questions. So the first one is, are there any plans to add save slots for different configs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer yes, and not just for performance customization, also for like appearance customization. So we wanna let everyone be able to have like preset options. So you can say like, hey, I have like 3 different type of setups for this car, and I just wanna like change them. And you're gonna be able to. It's not gonna be now, but it's gonna be like in the future.
All right, thank you. Are analog accelerators going to be added to control throttle of cars?
That's a good question.
I mean, if it's requested a lot, we can look into it. But yeah, it's for the moment, no, it's not on our table.
And one I've been seeing pop up a lot is about electric vehicles. What's going to happen with electrical vehicle customization?
Yeah. So on the back end of things, electric vehicles are fairly similar to combustion engine vehicles. So the main difference being they have like one gear, and the torque is on a curve rather than a torque per gear. But all the parts that work on regular vehicle work on electric vehicles just the same. So basically, there's nothing you can't do with an electric vehicle.
All right. There's one regarding like cosmetics that are currently in the game. So such as like aero parts, like spoilers and body kits, would they affect performance, or are they just strictly cosmetic?
Yeah, for now, they're not going to be impacting performance. We are taking that in consideration for the future. But since we still don't have so many body kits, one thing that we want to do first, like adding more body kits for everyone. And after that, we can think about like if it makes sense to change the stats of the car as well.
Right, thank you. Will we be able to sell parts? We can see that you can replace them, but would we ever be able to get cash back maybe?
No, not at the moment. Right now, you have them, you accumulate them, and you can work their way up and craft them into better parts. Like, ideally, you use your parts in a lot of your favorite vehicles, so it'll be fine. But yeah, no selling of parts.
Yeah, but that is just one thing. If you sell your car and you have parts equipped to your car, you're gonna be getting some cash from the parts. So you're not going to be just losing them. You're going to be getting some refunds if you sell the car with the parts equipped.
This one seems to be a very popular one. Would it be possible to just automatically get an option to upgrade the parts? Say I get 4 common upgrades for one part. Could there just be an option to automatically upgrade to the next rarity?
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Maybe in the inventory menu, we have a toggle and it says like auto upgrade. So once it has the number, it would. Yeah, I don't see why not.
I think two more. One is in terms of parts. So we've seen a bunch of different tires, a bunch of different steering wheels, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Is there a limit to the amount of parts we could add for the tuning kits?
You mean adding to the tuning kits, like the pool of available parts?
Yeah,
there's no limit to that. Really, our car parameters are the limit, right? So, but whenever we add a new parameter to a vehicle, that can become a new part to use, right? So, yeah, theoretically, no limits.
All right. Walsh, are there any specific questions that you've seen that you want to point out? Otherwise, I think that's it.
I see a question about the air intake, exhaust manifold, if those change the sounds of the car. We're not there yet, but what's on the table and what we've been talking about is potentially adding a drop-down menu in the aspiration where you can select whatever sound you want for your own vehicle, right? So regardless of what parts are installed, you can just choose the sound that you want. But that may come later this year or not. We'll see.
All right, I think that is it for questions, unless
it's not a question. Just wanna let everyone knows we are talking with all the brands to have also branded parts. So you're gonna be able to have like specific parts for, I don't know, maybe your Hennessy or maybe like other cars. So we are also exploring the option with like all the brands, so we can have that for you. So it's not just like generic, you also can have specific per car and per brand in the future. But we first need to talk with everyone, make sure everyone is okay.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, but like one thing we could do at a later stage would be to compartmentalize the parts based on the vehicle type. So, in the game we have boats, helicopters, motorcycles. So each of them could have their own specific parts to collect. So it makes more sense than adding like a quad turbo to a helicopter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, with that, we have one more surprise. So as you guys might have seen, Holy Peaches had to reset the game. We do plan on opening this up to the PTS server later tonight. So stay tuned for announcements when we announce when the PTS server will be open, so you guys can get your hands on the update.
Yeah, and like every previous PTS, there's a survey. So if you find a bug, if you have feedback, you can use it in game and submit that to us. The more detail there is, the better for us to actually like understand what is the issue and to fix it. And again, this is going to be for testing, so please provide all the feedback that you can. Tell us what you would want, what's not working for you, etc. We're open to all ideas.
Just one last thing that is, sorry guys, I just saw that now. Jam, can you share your screen? Just show the drivetrain. People are asking about suspension drivetrain. If you're still gonna have that or no?
Yeah, of course. Let me share my screen. So yeah, those options are still available here in performance. So you can still modify your vehicle in all of the previous ways that you could for suspension and drivetrain as well. This is the same. This hasn't been modified, right? So yeah, that's available.
Thanks.
All right. If there's nothing else, thank you all for attending the stage for performance customization, and you'll hear from us soon. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Have a
everyone.
great
Have
day.
a great evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so that is the showcase over and done with. Honestly, I think it's really cool. A lot of people said it might be confusing, and I do kind of see that. But I do think as like people use it more, it'll get, you know, less confusing and you'll understand it more. But I'm not gonna go on anymore. The video is already long enough. This is very cool. There will be a test server out for this, so I'll have a separate video when the test server actually gets like released and put up so people can join, obviously. But yeah, very, very cool. I am excited for this to come to the main game, and yeah, have a good day.